Pillowcase. There's this is called a cuff, and this is the body of the pillow. So the cuff has a correct side, a right side, and a wrong side. This is the right side. It's the side you want to be seen. This is also the correct side. Okay, so if it has a right and wrong, then that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to lay this part all the way down, and we're going to lay our good side, so the good sides are facing each other, on top of it. Our job, our goal, is to line them up correctly at the very top. So we're going to pin it. I always like to start the corner and then come in the other corner and pin that. Now I'm making pinning look easy. Some students have trouble with pinning. The more you practice, the better you'll get at it. So be patient. You can pull that forward too hard. Okay, and then you're going to put one in the center. Then your goal, see again, the red is showing. You don't want it to show. You want to line it up. And when you have it lined up, you're going to pin it. Pin it in the center here. And then I keep pinning in the center. If you have a little bubble, then you can just take out the bubble. It's okay. Okay. Again, you're matching up the top. You don't want the red showing, so you're lining it up. And then let me show you that this last pin is going to be slower. So you're basically lining up the red, cover it, so there's nothing, you can't see the red from the top. Okay. So then let's count how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Start with the corners, put a center, and then keep going. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to have a partner. You're going to pair off, and you're going to roll this as tight as you can. See how tight I'm going? Now, this is hard for one person to do by themselves, but since I don't have a helper, I am going to roll, and I'm going to keep this as small as I can, because the smaller you make it, the less likely you're going to sew it and have it wrong later. I'm going to keep rolling. The body of my pillow is what you're rolling right now. This is kind of like a secret pocket, and you'll see what I mean by that. I do not roll the cuff. That is going to stay there, and I just roll to about this point where the pins are at the end. Then I'm going to take my cuff, and I'm going to flap it over. Now you're lining the two pieces of material. There's really three. There's the cuff is on the outside, and the inside is the body. Then you're going to take the pin out of the two pieces of fabric, and you're going to put it in three. Out of the two, put it into the three. Notice where my cuff is, my body, I mean, it's all the way down there, inside the cuff. Okay, so you keep going down, and then we're almost ready to sew. Now the goal to this is to make sure that you are keeping this body, this rolled up part, towards the bottom. And there's a reason for that, because when you get ready to sew, you don't want to sew that. You're lining up the three. 2 more. 1. All right, last one. Okay, and it's okay if you have, I'll put that up a little bit more. It's okay if you have a little of that black showing at the end. That's okay. So what you're going to end up with is you're going to end up with it like this, where the body is all the way at the bottom, and you're just going to have it like that. Okay, now we're ready to sew it.
Go.
Okay, so now you're ready to sew. Oh, I've got to get my pin cushion. You got in front of you, so you have ready for your pins. Okay, so now my machine's ready. I've already practiced. I've already sewed on my material, so I know that the machine is good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my fabric just like I did with my seam underneath the presser foot. and you're gonna see the 15 line. I like to use the 15. You can use the 10, but the 15 gives you a little bit more room to get to the edge with. It's okay. So line it up where you're gonna see the 5. Then you're just gonna start sewing. And then you always have to back stitch at the beginning and the end. And then you're gonna keep going. And then I'm gonna keep sewing. Your goal is to go nice and slowly until you're always looking for that 5. So you're gonna go all the way down. I have it on my shoulder right now. I don't know if you can see that, but it's on my shoulder. So I'm gonna have to keep rolling it down so it stays off. You won't pin yourself. But see how slowly I'm going? And I'm an experienced sewer. So I just kind of let the fabric go, because remember, the feed dogs, those little teeth underneath the slide plate, are doing the work. I'm not doing anything. I'm just guiding it back so it stays in a straight line. Notice how when I get too close to a pin, I let off my foot pedal, take out the pin. I don't just keep going. So go nice and slowly. Slowly, slowly. The goal is not to get near this part, because if you get near that, you're going to have problems. So stay on the 15. If you're, for any reason you can't see the 1 5 anymore, you just stop. You can call me over if you can't do it, and I will help you. Or I'll have a student helper come. Keep going, and see, you're going to keep taking the pins out, and you're just lining it up on the 15. I still can see my 5. It's a lot of straight sewing. We're coming to the end. Still keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, there's a pin, and you might have a bubble, and that's okay. All the way, slow down, all the way to the end. Remember what we said about not sewing without fabric, so don't go too far. Back stitch to reinforce it, and forward again. Okay, so then we cut all the way out here, like I said before. And then if you look at your line, it should be a pretty straight line. I mean, mine's not perfect, but it's good. And if you look at it, you should be able to see that body part, the smiley face in this situation, is in between those two parts of the cuff, all the way. So you look at it from the beginning all the way to the end, and you should be able to see that it's there. And then you would know that you're ready for the next step. So at this point, you need to show Mrs. in.